with Matt Jones from Advanced Safety. Matt and I have done some work together, and Matt has been uber successful in his work, and we're here today to share some of this information with you. So Matt, just to let everybody know, what is it that you actually do? What's your business?
Yeah, sure. First and foremost, Beck, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity for me to be able to share my story of how you've made such a positive impact on my business. So my name's Matt. I run and operate the health and safety consultancy here in Christchurch. When I first met Beck, it was just me getting my head around being a business owner for the first time. But now I have full-time employees. We've gone nationwide. And they're just on the brink of bringing on a whole raft of partners up and down the country. The start of the new year, one of the biggest things that I'm focusing on at the moment is the Partners Program, or the Mastermind Program, which I've been dabbling with for the last few months, trialing with a few really great consultants. And we're just on the brink of launching this Mastermind and opening the doors for the first time to all health and safety professionals here in New Zealand and potentially beyond.
So the last 12 months have been pretty massive for you in terms of your business.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about maybe even where you were at this time last year and what happened over the year?
Yeah, so traditionally the start of a new year and the end of the year is a real crunch point for the business. So what I've learned is that our clients tend to close down middle of December, everyone's on holiday, so the cash flow suddenly is interrupted, and that can bring in a lot of stresses and strains. So I guess this time last year I probably wouldn't be quite so smiley.
Right.
So relaxed looking. Whereas this time round, yeah, it's a little bit tighter, but we were okay, we're fine. Like the work's flowing, the clients have come back promptly. Even had one of our largest clients ask us to service them during the close down period on a non-call basis. Very unlikely for us to be called in.
Right.
Still generating money whilst we're on holiday.
Right.
This time last year, it was just me.
Sure.
This time, 2 full-time employees, highly experienced people who are on very good payrolls, and also fleet of vehicles, beautiful office. Nothing's a problem. Yeah.
So during the course of the year, what did you come up against within yourself? Because intuitive coaching work, as you know, it's all about going internally, looking at your limiting beliefs, what's holding you back from experiencing what it is that you want to experience.
Yeah.
And obviously through our work, what would you say, what insights do you have? Like what awarenesses do you have in regards to the process?
There's 2 or 3 things that spring to mind straight away for me. The first one is the classic imposter syndrome. So I'm in a profession, highly skilled profession, where there's a lot of subject matter expertise and knowledge. There's also a lot of seasoned practitioners out there who, rightly or wrongly, are very protectionist around their business and their trade. And so when they see someone coming in doing something slightly different, that can put people's backs up, and there is a sense that my way of doing business, social media, marketing, giving as much value to the audience as possible, is seen as a threat by others, and it can be a little bit daunting and a little bit intimidating to feel like you are upsetting the cut. And so the imposter syndrome really kicks in, like, I'm going to be found out that I'm a fraud, or I don't know as much as I'm letting on. I've learned to let that go. At the end of the day, it's not my peers that are going to judge my performance, it's my clients, and it's the people that know and trust me. And I'm really pleased to say that the client base has grown. The type of client and the quality of client has just gone through the roof. We're now dealing and servicing ideal clients. Great payers, happy to take on advice or act on the advice. Incredible stuff. And then the other thing that came to mind was money blocks. So I unknowingly delayed invoicing, delayed chasing up late payments, which was having a massive direct impact on the business, meaning that I was having to rely heavily on credit cards and amassed a lot of debt. I'm now really pleased to say that not quite over the line yet, but we've put in ways and means in which to track and to make those improvements, so that we will be out of draw patch.
Mm-hmm. Can you see, looking back from the work that we've done together, how working on your money blocks is such a big thing in terms of creating abundance?
Yeah.
Because we had quite a few conversations throughout the year, especially specifically around money in particular.
Yeah.
Right.
So through Rebecca's training, I began to appreciate that some of my experiences in my earlier life led me to believe that money was a dirty thing. It was something not to really be celebrated, certainly not to amass, and was something that belonged to someone else, which came as it was a big revelation. Often, you're not really encouraged to think about money, really, I don't think. It's such a big part of our world, but I think for many people, the connotations of money is probably a negative. It's a bad thing. Therefore, push it to the side, put it down the priority list. The only thing associated with money is debt and bills and scary letters that come in the post. Uncovering the history and the connotations to that, to actually think back to times in my childhood where there's been negative moments or a series of negative events, which has then led to triggers as an adult, has been really fascinating, which then led me to wanting to unearth and discover more. It's really, really empowering stuff.
And also too, how when you do, like when you've actually got the tools, you can, when something comes up and you're like, ooh, crumbs, you can feel that there's a charge on it, or it feels contracted or heavy, it's actually showing you something about yourself, and you know what to do to be able to move beyond it. Which you have clearly done, because it's been like watching a rocket go off in terms of your it's been like a meteorising, isn't it, in terms of your success. It's been over a short period of time, but also too comes back to your abundance mindset, which is that generosity, giving information, holding events, etc., putting yourself out there. It's been incredible to see.
Thank you. Totally. You mentioned events, so a couple of years ago I put on a health and safety professionals conference. Off the back of just an idea, a pie in the sky idea, really. Didn't ask anyone's permission. I just went out and did it for the health and safety community. And what I realised was, thanks to the messages and the information I've been putting out there in the social media and food and marketing, that by doing that, it allowed people the opportunity to reach out and actually become part of the community. And that was a really big lesson for me, is people are listening, and people are prepared to not only listen but are actually prepared to act on what I'm saying, which was really empowering. I then trialed that with the mastermind program. So at the end of last year, I invited 3 or 4 people to try this idea, this scheme, and they jumped on it, which was again another confidence booster, and has allowed me to now really drive this new scheme and to market it, which we're promoting at the moment, and it's looking like it's going to be as successful as I can hope, really.
Which is incredible too. Congratulations on your success, because you've had the willingness to look at yourself and identify, where am I holding myself back, which has been massive. And we've talked a lot too about creating you're setting yourself up for your day, and I know that you're very good at that as well, right? That if you set yourself and put yourself in the right frame of mind, and I would call it the right energy for the rest of the day, then everything can flow. How do you think that has been beneficial to you? Right.
Yeah, and it's beyond business world, really. So as you know, I'm a dad, 5 kids, 2 under 2. One with disabilities, so it's an incredibly busy household. But I know through the morning practices and the evening practices that you helped to coach and direct me toward, it means that my time at work and at home is suddenly improved significantly to the point where if I'm having a bit of a blue period, my partner Kaylee will tell me to get on the phone, call back. You need to sit down and have a chat with her.
Nice.
Yeah,
Such a good sort. I was going to say, because you seem very relaxed for a business owner who has 5 children and has so much going on.
Yeah.
But that's the name of the game too, right? To be an expanded energy, as I would call it. So all those opportunities can come and flow to you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking about it. Like today, for example, I've got 3 or 4 really important phone calls to make, which has a significant impact on some of our clients and some of our ongoing business. My daughter's just gone through quite extensive surgery over the last few days. I've had very little sleep, but through the practice, through the training, it allows me to confidently enter into an environment like this and be completely present and focused. Whereas if we would attempted this maybe even 12 months ago, you would probably find a very tired, very distracted, not quite so coherent speaker, I imagine.
Yeah.
So
Not able to be present or focus as well, right? Totally. Cool. Yeah. So if somebody's watching this and they've never done intuitive coaching work before, what would you say to them?
I'd say put your fear aside. And also actually your preconceptions. So when you think of intuitive training, intuitive coaching, probably it's those kind of the woo-woo connotations kick in, right? But I can't encourage people enough to give it a go, but to approach it with an open mind and to leave those preconceptions at the door. You do that, and I promise you're going to be in for a really incredible journey.
Do you think you've surprised yourself a little bit?
Yeah. So a really good example, right, is one of the things that you helped me to discover is the benefits of cold shower practice, right? And I know this isn't something that you kind of encourage all your partners and associates to do, but what it's been so beneficial for me is that I've taught myself to do something that I find incredibly uncomfortable. It's a horrible thing, but now I'm taking a daily cold shower, not just for a few seconds, but that's my shower. I'm in there for several minutes now. But it's taught me that I'm capable of so much more than I had previously thought. And it sets me up as part of my morning practice to know that if I can defeat that, I can defeat anything that comes my way.
Yes, so it's kind of a mind, body, spirit, in terms of if I do this, then I'm going to get, I'm putting myself literally pushing myself in a place of discomfort so I can stretch outside my comfort zone, which I really admire that.
Yeah, thank you. And that's allowed me to expand and try new things without the fear of people's judgment, because I couldn't care less what other people think. The opinions of particularly of my industry peers, family, friends, anything. The only people that matter are myself and my immediate family. Anyone else's opinions, I take it on board. I'll listen to it, but it won't have an impact on what I know is to be right.
And that's gold, right? That's the ultimate for a lot of people, because it gives you so much space to be creative from. That's amazing. So one last question that I would like to ask you: how much do you think that this work has helped you in terms of where you are today?
Really massively. I was trying to think of a smarter word there, but it's been huge. You can almost track. I imagine if we could put the numbers and the metrics on the line, we'd be able to actually show exactly when we first started working together, and going through those sessions and covering those blocks, doing a lot of the light clearing, the light work that you helped me with, and I know that it's just poured rocket fuel onto a business and a concept that's, the timing of it's been great. Health and safety consulting here in New Zealand, it couldn't be any better. It had every right to be successful, but my own, I was standing in my own way. I was scared of money, reluctant to ask for the real value of the services that we were providing. And now I'm running a national business with team members up and down the country with a mastermind program just about to go. And I don't believe any of that could have happened if it wasn't for your help. So
thank you so
yeah,
much.
thank you.
I want to acknowledge your success, so congratulations, and congratulations on having the willingness to show up and do what it takes to get out of your own way, right? Because I know it's not always easy, but it's just amazing to see you so relaxed with so much going on and such a bright future ahead of you. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, honestly, I just love it. Yeah, I love it. It's so exciting for you.
Yeah, this year feels really limitless.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.